and then this morning it was 242.6.
Okay.
So it's starting to go down. I have my theories on it.
Constipation?
I think that could have been part of it. I just know that I had that massive weight loss, and I know it wasn't a healthy weight loss.
Right.
So I figured, and anytime there's a big weight loss like that, you're gonna have a weight gain right after. And the weight loss is, we had the flood, and then I had the surgery, and yeah. So now my appetite is starting to come back.
Right.
But I know I don't eat as much as I was before the surgery.
Okay.
I'm still not that hungry. It's still kind of like a force the food down type of thing, but I'm getting there.
Okay.
And I'm starting to get more active where before I was not so active.
Right.
Type of thing. And I know that weight loss was not a healthy weight loss because you could see it in my skin. You
right.
could see it pretty much even in my hair.
Right.
My hair was like crappy, and stools are green, that kind of thing. And things are starting to balance out.
Normalize.
Yeah.
Well, you're looking better each week from
yeah.
a complexion standpoint. All right. Well, let's get your weight. Let's see where you're at.
Falling down here.
241.4.
Down from last week, right?
No, you were up.
I'm up now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if we look at...
Yeah, because I know I got 247.
This is where you were at pre-surgery. 241.
241.
Yeah.
Even. Okay, so I'm up a little bit.
Well, you were 241.2. And then you had that big drop after surgery. You were 234.6, then it was a 238.8. Now you're up to 241. So you've kind of gone slid up.
I just know at home it said 247 at
okay.
one point, and slowly it's been going back down.
Okay.
So it's been, which has been frustrating because I got for the diet bet I have 12 pounds to lose in 20 days. Which does not make me happy.
No.
That's too much of a weight loss.
Yeah,
probably what reason why you had that kind of weight loss. One is you were dehydrated, heavily dehydrated from where you were at, and then all of a sudden when you started getting back to eating, and then drinking more things, and obviously eating more things that are going to have more salt in them, then you're going to start retaining.
Yeah.
That's probably the likely scenario that how highly dehydrated you were when you were coming in. Mainly, I would see it in your flesh. You were very pale.
My skin was saggy.
Yeah.
It was really, it scared me.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I looked like my Aunt Billy, and I love my Aunt Billy, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But she literally refused to eat because she didn't get Chinese food.
Right. Well, you weren't eating.
Yeah. But I was just like, my skin was saggy.
Yeah.
And I've noticed, especially the last couple of days, my skin is starting to.
Yeah, the elasticity is
starting
better.
to get normal.
Yeah.
And granted my face is thinned out still, but at least things are looking better. And I know
Absolutely.
I've been stressed, especially since the flood, because of the sleeping situation that we've had.
So what's your sleep been like?
Of course, right after the surgery, it was great because I was medicated. But once I was off the medication, I wasn't sleeping very well at all. I'd wake up and I'd stay awake. One time he found me up wandering the house in the middle of the night, and it got frustrating because if I got up and moved around, it would wake the cats, who would wake up the dog, who would wake up everybody else.
Right.
And at one point it was, I was awake since 3 o'clock in the morning. At 6 I finally decided to get out of bed and do something, and of course that ended up waking up everybody. I was like, well, let's make some coffee and start our day, type of thing. But first it was, our bedroom was in the living room, and we finally got the bedroom set up before I went into surgery. But you got this, the bedroom's about this size. You got a big old window, not quite as big as this, but still big. Right outside our window is the school, elementary school. So if I want to get dressed, you know, it's kind of a embarrassing situation. Where do I go to get dressed? And the bathroom across the hall is nothing more than a toilet, and the floor still has nails and whatnot sticking out of the floor, so you don't really want to use it. And and of course my office, if I want, I have to go from my bedroom to my office to do anything. So and most of the time, Michael and Gabby are okay. You know, their bedroom is, here's our bedroom, here's my office, and then straight across is their bedroom door. And most of the time, hour-wise is okay, but you know, it's like I want to go to sleep at a certain time, and they're still up, and so that all that noise comes into our room. This thing decided that for now on we have to sleep with our door open, so she sleeps right outside the door. She won't sleep in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put the gate there, so it kind of keeps wandering down to a minimum. And so this last Friday, my mom's birthday was this last week. So I took my mom out, and we went to Kohl's, and while we were there, I bought curtains for the window, and I bought a curtain for the hallway. And so I put the curtains up in the window, and oh, and that was the other thing. We had there's a street lamp right outside that window, and so it shines into it's like daytime at night is basically what it is. So the curtains have knocked that down, so there's just enough light where you can see what's going on around you, but it's not bright or anything like that, kind of like having a night light.
Right.
You know, type of thing. And I put the curtain across, you know, out in the hallway, so we can go into my office and the bedroom without having to open the window, you know, the curtain. We have a little bit of privacy is basically it. But I got it high enough where she can see underneath it, but low enough where there's some privacy type of thing. And I'm thinking I might get another one to double up the thickness, because when their light's on, it shines right into the room. It makes it pretty bright. And I know one night I was about ready to scream, but then I realized Friday nights they come home 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're hyper and everything because they've been out having fun and stuff. And it's not like they're trying to be bad. It's not like you're trying to irritate me. I'm just irritated. So everything you do is going to irritate the hell out of me, type of thing. So that finally, I'm trying to deal with that. And then I've actually medicated myself a couple of times just trying to go to sleep. What was the other thing? Oh, got my new CPAP last night, or yesterday. Got a new, my old one's nasty. And this new one, I like it because I can actually take the tank out and take it apart and clean it, where the old one I couldn't take it apart to clean it. And so I try to clean it as best I can, but if you can't take it apart, what are you going to do? And it's a lot smaller, and it woke me up a couple of times during the night just because I felt like something was wrong, and then I realized it's not the same one. But since the curtains have been up, I've been able to go back to sleep quicker. You know, where before I was like hours and hours and hours just laying there. Last couple of nights it's like, oh. That kind of thing. I know part of my problem was asleep, and I've been trying to resolve that. He's been trying to be better about not, you know, making so much
you got to
noise.
really try to get about 7 to 8 hours a night. I mean, 7 hours is kind of the target. You know, 8 hours is a little on the high end, but 7 to 7.5 hours is kind of where you need to be. When you start getting below that, then it can impede the ability to lose weight. Mainly because it disrupts the hormones that regulate your energy metabolism as well as your appetite, satiety. So, and we do know that when patients tend to get fewer than 6 hours a night of sleep, they could actually start to gain weight. So what we need you to do is really make sure you're getting that 7 to 8 hours a night, continuous every single night. When patients do that, we typically see better results with weight loss and so forth. So it sounds like a little bit of sleep disruption from what's been going on, but
It's improving a little bit.
Yeah.
It's one of those. I've been forcing myself to stay in bed, but I wasn't really sleeping.
Sure.
You know, and that's been going on for weeks. And so I've been once I finally realized this is a problem, I really need to, you know, cause I was getting irritated. I was like screaming at people for no reason, that kind of thing. And it's like, why am I so irritated, you know?
Right. Well, if you're sleep deprived, you're gonna be irritated. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I know part of it is when I want that basement cleaned up, and I haven't been able to get down there. Finally, this week I started cleaning down there again. I was avoiding that because of the surgery, and some because of the surgery, some because of the insurance wanted information. I spent more than a week trying to get that information. Then the insurance says, oh, we're not gonna help you after all that work.
Right.
So, but I gotta keep that documentation because supposedly IRS has a thing where if you have a disaster situation and you lose a lot of stuff, you give that information to the IRS, and I'm not sure, they might drop your taxes or something like that. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I ordered a book to find out what we're supposed to do on that one. And started shopping on trying to find out how to get rid of the trash, because we gotta strip the walls. And it's like, would a bin be better versus a bag? You know, they got those bags. It's basically you're spending $130 to have them remove the bag. You know, it's like, well, if we need more than 3 bags, it's cheaper to get a bin or a dumpster thing.
Right.
But you only have 3 days on the dumpster, where the bag can sit there all week, you know, forever until you get it all filled up. So I'm trying to measure how much we need. It looks like what we're gonna have to do is strip the walls, keep the wood inside the house until we're ready for the bin, and then, or the dumpster, and then take it all out and then big, you know, go for it, so that type of thing. So that's kind of where I'm starting to get a little more active in that aspect. We've been running around more, shopping and errands and stuff like that. So my activity, my steps, I finally found my step thing. It's been lost. I was cleaning the other day. I was like, hey, haven't seen you in a while. What's new? So I was looking at my numbers, and I wasn't getting over 1,000 for a couple of days. So I've been trying to push my numbers up, but I can't get up to where was before surgery. So that's going to take a while.
So you go in to get your thyroid ultrasound next week?
Yeah, Tuesday. Right. And then I get, somewhere along the line, I know I'm going to get a blood test for the thyroid. And that's more along the lines of what information you're going to want.
Right.
And then I'll have my doctor's appointment in November.
Okay.
And she hasn't seen me since before I started losing weight, so that ought to be interesting.
Yeah.
And let's see what else. Been basically on my eating, I've been forcing myself. I've decided to go back to the basics, you know, kind of like when I first started, try to take my shakes first thing in the morning, so at least I'm getting that in.
Well, that was going to be my recommendation, since you've been gaining weight, is to try to get back to what we know is working.
Yeah.
And see if we can turn that tide again. And so, you know, we'll kind of see where you're at next week. But if you gain weight again, then I think it's important that maybe you get that blood work for that thyroid a little bit sooner.
See what's going on. Yeah, because it's one of those. My stools have been green. They're not as green as they were before, but they're still green.
Okay.
And that's got me worried. You know, it's like that's not right. And but they're starting to look more normal in shape and size, you know, type of thing. But it's just my whole system has just been whacked out.
Right.
And I think between the flood and the surgery, everything's been kind of all over the place. And I know I haven't been eating, you know, and it's weird to, like you say, you know, you're not eating as well. You know, it's like, I got to get this food in. It's not coming in. And so I figured, well, if I start with this, at least I know I'm getting the nutrition that I need. And that's the biggest reason why I wanted to start with this first in my day, and then that way I know I'm getting the nutrition, and maybe my body will want to have the other food that I'm supposed to be eating.
Exactly.
And I've been making Michael's like, what's with all these food? I was like, well, winter's coming on, and you know, you need heartier food. So I made spaghetti sauce, and I made the taco mix and burrito mix and chili. You know, and of course, you know, when I make chili, there's about 30 servings. So Michael's like, chili is everywhere, but I had made basically one batch has the potatoes, which is what my son likes. The other one has our alteration that we made, which has like half the calories and a lot more nutrition, you know, that kind of thing. So I got one that's for me and one that's for him. If he wants to get into mine, that's fine. But I
Sure.
noticed mine has a lot more chunky than his does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I have more vegetables. I have more peppers, and I have more, you know, it's a lot more vegetables in it, and so it looks a lot more chunky in it, which I like, you know, type of thing. I feel like I'm getting more. And today I was thinking about making potato soup, but it's not going to have potatoes in it. I thought I'd try. I was been
You can try
looking.
cauliflower.
I've been looking at recipes, you know, for alterations for potatoes, and one was, you know, cauliflower, you know, and my daughter-in-law sneaks cauliflower in on the kids. They think they're getting potatoes, but they're actually getting cauliflower. So I bought a cauliflower along with the other vegetables and see if that doesn't, if I can pass it off as potato soup.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
See if I can get away with it.
Well, I mean, I think that's what I want you to work on this week is getting back to the basics. Really, really try to get to that 7 hours a night of sleep. Those are the two big things. And then we'll talk about, you know, I mean, obviously you're doing an ultrasound, but I probably won't have the results or anything on that until maybe a couple of days beyond that till you know, whomever is going to interpret those results. And then we'll, you know, because my only concern is if you're gaining weight and your sleep's good and your diet's good, then is it something going on from a blood perspective, either a thyroid or whatever have you. But, you know, what we do know, let's control what we do know, right? Let's get more sleep and really, really try to get back to the basics of the diet and see if we can turn that tide.
More active.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
The doctor says I'm not allowed to lift more than 15 pounds.
Okay.
And till basically the end of November.
Okay.
And
So you can do 2 5-pound dumbbells.
Yeah. Yeah, I was doing about 10, 11 pounds when I was working out.
Yeah.
Before, so in an essence I can do that.
Yeah.
So I figured I'll start working myself back up because I know I don't have the energy and I start to hurt before I get too far into anything.
Yep.
So that's just building my stamina.
Yep.
Myself up to doing things like I was before because I know I was pretty active before. And
do you need any bars this week? Or are you good?
no, you gave me bars last week.
Okay. Let me see here. Next Wednesday.
Oh, and I'm going to be running out of LASIK, and I'm wondering if that's going to cause me to weight gain.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we'll be prepared for that.
Especially that's a water pill.
Yeah. And
Diuretic.
I will soon be out of my blood pressure pills, so when I go in, I'm going to talk to the doctor about.
You are out of LASIK, you said?
I'm almost out.
Okay.
And so I have a feeling that's going to probably cause a weight gain.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk to the doctor about my blood pressure pills. I'm almost out of those, and there's no refills, so I'm going to talk to him about possibly lowering the dosage or something because my blood pressure has been so low lately. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
See if it wean me off of it or what. And we've learned already that that's already caused a weight gain.
What time's your thing on Tuesday?
Seemed to me it was early in the morning or something.
8:30.
Yeah, something like that. And it might take about an hour or so.
So we're going to do 2 o'clock on Wednesday.
2?
Yeah, I'm going to give you the option either 2 or 8:30.
Yeah, I'll be working most likely.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be working in the afternoon, so I guess we'll have to do it in the morning.
8:30?
Yeah. Yeah, his hours have been
Yeah, being able to get overtime.
His overtime's on Wednesday, like they said. That means we gotta get up early that day. I'm
And
afraid.
depending on how you're doing, might start moving you out, going back to trying to move you out every 2 weeks, and we'll see kinda how things are going.
Okay.
Because I think you're on autopilot, and at this page, I think mainly looking for where you're at. Now, the good thing too is if you can turn this tide and get back, I mean, you're gonna save like $60 a month doing that too. So,
Yeah.
So we'll see how you're doing. So it's also a good incentive to be able to see if we can get that down. But I want to see how you're doing next week. Make sure nothing else is going on before we make that decision.
Yeah, before we start going off like crazy. Yeah. And I was thinking, I gotta start getting more juice, orange juice in there or something.
Well, watch the sugar on the orange juice.
Well, here's my question. I'm thinking part of the problem is the medication that they're giving me. It says that I'm supposed to have orange juice with it because it affects the liver. Do you have any suggestions outside of orange juice?
Which medication?
The LASIK, and they said I should be drinking orange juice with the blood pressure medicine.
You should be.
Yeah.
Talk to your physician. Maybe sometimes apple juice. Not sure. I don't know if it's a citric acid in it or not. So.
What the effect is? Drug versus food?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But.
That might be a homework assignment.
Yeah. All right. So I'll plan on seeing you next Wednesday at 8:30. Let me know specifically if you have anything going on with the thyroid the next morning, but we'll see how you're doing. So the big thing is stay consistent with that, getting back to where you were, trying to get 7 to 8 hours a night of sleep, and modestly start increasing your activity level to the point based on your stamina, and then we'll see how you're doing next week.
Yeah, because I know since I started making the changes, I started feeling better.
Good.
So that I know that.
Well, you're getting more nutrients. That's the big thing.
Yeah, I'm getting more nutrients, and I know the last couple of nights, because the curtains have only been up for a couple of nights, and I've noticed my sleep has been better, but I still need to figure out the problem with the hallway thing, because, I like to sleep with the door shut.
Right.
But that's a problem.
Okay.
And if I leave her inside the room, she paces back and forth, which is going to keep me up. And if I leave her outside the room without the gate, then she paces throughout the house, and it drives them crazy.
I bet.
And of course, because it wakes up their dog, because their dog sleeps in their room. And so what I did is I put the gate, we got a little baby gate, and I just put it in the hallway. So she's kind of in our room, but she can get out of the hall, get out if she wants to. But like I said, the room with the door open, of course, you got the noises that are throughout the house in the room. It's like trying to relax, and I like to go to sleep without being medicated. To me, that's healthier. I don't know about you, but I just think it'd be better to try to go to sleep without having to take something for it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So we'll see you next Wednesday morning to do those 3 things.
Okay.
Okay.